right, let's go live. Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Inappropriate Movie Database, the comedy game show about content warnings. I'm your host, Nick Martucci. This is going to be a fun one tonight. I'm excited for this one. Before we jump into it, if you're new watching, or if you're just not already a part of the Facebook group, now would be an excellent time to join the Facebook group for this game. If you go to Inappropriate Movie Database or click the link in the description, that's like the main everything for this game for the most part. That's a sentence, right? I am running on fumes. Including it's where I book this show for the most part. So if you want to be a part of this, if you want to be on the show, if you've never been on or haven't been on in a while, or if you're on a lot and you're just watching and you haven't signed up for any games, I'm booking for this month right now, and there's still spaces available. So go to the Facebook page. At the top of the page, you'll see a pinned post for August bookings. Go there, see if there's any dates and themes you like, and either comment on that post or send me a DM, and I'll put you on this show. I love having new people on the show. Also, if you're not on Facebook, if you're a good person morally, maybe you're on Twitter or Instagram. Go to @IMDb game and reach out there. All that information's on those two places as well. And I think that's all I really have to say about that. Tonight on the show, we are doing movies that legendary film critic Roger Ebert just fucking hated. Specifically, these are all movies taken from his book, I hated this movie. Which he, that quote comes from his review for the 1994 movie, I believe, North, starring Elijah Wood. It's a Rob Reiner movie. I've never seen it. He hated it.
I only know that movie from the Roger Ebert review.
Oh, I know it because young me watched it a couple of times.
Oh my gosh. Why is that not surprising at all?
So yeah, this is going to be fun because like Roger Ebert, maybe not a great guy, maybe not the best critic or writer or person, but when he hated something, he could be so funny about it. And that's sort of what this is tonight. On top of collecting all of the normal, terrible parental warnings I normally collect, I also have quotes from all of the reviews for these movies.
Oh my gosh. I'm so excited.
And if it comes to it, those might also end up being clues. If by the 1 point clue you don't get it, I might throw in an extra clue there. Also, the time frame is very limited for this episode. I think this book came out in maybe 2000. So all the movies tonight are between 1978, 79, and 1999. So I hope that you know a lot of movies.
Congrats to whoever wins. It's not going to be me.
Yeah, I had to pick. That's the other thing is I tend to not, once I use a movie over the course of 2022, I don't use that movie again, usually. Tonight, I had to, because it turns out the selection is very limited. These are still not movies any of my contestants tonight have played before. You got to see the spreadsheet that I used to keep track of this game. It's a sickness. Anyway, I think I've talked about what this will be enough, and it's time to bring in the contestants. Joining me on the show tonight are Liz Estey, Manix Catino, Sammie James, and Zach Jones. Hey, everybody.
Hey.
Hey.
Wow.
Now, let's start off with returning champion to spoil Monday's episode. Manix Catino back on the show. Hey.
Woo, that's me.
That is you. How are you doing tonight?
Doing all right.
What am I looking at behind you?
So it's the pair of shoes wall from In Keen from Jumanji.
Ah.
Was a memorial that's set up after Mr. Williams passed.
Oh, that's nice.
It's one of the only interesting things in Keene. I'm sorry. I'm extremely biased. I'm extremely biased. But
normally I ask people to recommend a movie at this point in the show. I'm going to do something that I don't. I mean, yes, and to spoil it, it won't be on this show because one of you played it before. Roger Ebert hated Dead Poets Society.
Rightfully so.
So what I'm going to ask is usually something I don't like spreading a lot of negativity, but I feels like it's in the theme of this episode. What is a movie, just one, that you absolutely hate?
Oh, 9 Lives.
Is that the Kevin Spacey's a cat movie?
Is that Kevin Spacey or was that the other dude? Either way, yes, someone turns into a cat. Christopher Walken's in it, so I thought it might have been good a little bit, but no.
Oh yeah, Christopher Walken doesn't just pick anything.
It was horrendous.
That seems like a fair choice. I have not seen it and not convinced you based on that.
No.
Well, thank you for coming back. Also returning to the show, always great when she's here. Liz Estey's returning. Hey, Liz.
Hey.
Nice to see you tonight. How are you feeling about this? You said that this isn't your
this is
your
not my time frame at all. So it's gonna be real hit or miss, and I'm definitely gonna guess some movies that make no sense.
I'll be honest. A couple of it's hard to say. Most of the movies that are on this list, it's a short list. I got 15 movies. We're gonna hit 12 of them. Most of them are objectively bad movies.
That's not gonna help. No, it's just it's not that I don't know movies from that time period. It's that they're kind of all in one category. So like trying to split them up into years beyond that is questionable, and that happens like when there are weird reasons why I recently saw the release year.
I mean, this feels more than most games like the years will not help much this episode.
I can't wait.
So I'm excited by this because I know there must be some. What is a movie you hate?
I am going to say Gone with the Wind. I think it's incredibly overrated, racist, problematic, and super fucking long. Like, I mean, obviously that's not the biggest issue with it. Like, in terms of like ideas and like what's happening, that's definitely not priority 1, but like priority 3 is definitely, it's just so boring. And like, I remember it was, I think my grandmother showed it to me when I was pretty young, and there was all of this hype, and it was like a great film, like you like movies, this is a movie, like you will become immersed in cinema. And I don't know what the accent was.
No, that sounds exactly like your grandmother.
I was so confused, and then she put it on and I was like, I fucking hate this movie. And anytime I've seen clips of it as an adult, I've been like, I was right. Like as a kid, I was often wrong, but that was one that I got right immediately. I had an immediate dislike for the movie, and it evolved into a deep hatred. And so that is my answer.
That is an excellent choice. It's not one that I've seen, and I don't think it's one I'm ever gonna catch.
Yeah, I really don't think you need to see it.
I think I get it. Also, Clark Gable makes me uncomfortable.
I mean, especially in that role.
I saw It Happened One Night. I'm like, he's going to hit her a lot. I don't want them to end up together.
Yeah, that's a problem with a lot of those earlier films. You're like, wow, there's a lot of domestic violence. I'm not rooting for this couple. And then it's like, they're together.
Excellent choice. Also returning to the show, frequent guest, always a delight when she's here. Sammie James returns. Hey, Sammie.
Hey,
How you doing tonight?
all right, how's it going?
Going good. Now I know that you were excited because you shared a fact in the last episode you were on about Roger Ebert. That was just another example of, kind
What
of
a
fuck
dick.
this guy. Is it fair to say you don't like him?
I don't.
Well, then we'll see how that affects.
Hey, what was the
this.
fact?
Oh,
Right?
no, okay. So, I don't remember which Friday the 13th movie. He hated the series, but he hated one of the movies so much. I assume it's the first one. That he doxed the woman who played Mrs. Voorhees. And in the review said, "This is her address, send her hate mail."
Jeez.
Oh my God.
What a fucking dick.
Also, like a fundamental misunderstanding.
Yeah,
of,
and she
the
never
actor's
acted again. She
role,
never acted
you know? But like, if an actor, like, it's so, like, a bad performance, I don't know. I feel like a bad performance is so hard to actually gauge because so often, like, the script is bad, and like,
Yeah.
even a good actor can't
And also,
act.
she's fine.
Yeah, I mean, in addition to that, and also, even if you have a bad day at work, it doesn't mean you should get hate mail for it.
Like, what's Roger Ebert's address?
Real problematic fave for me for Roger Ebert, and fave is a strong word. His writing makes me laugh, and I grew up like, I watched at the movies.
Oh, yeah.
That was my
yeah.
introduction to film criticism. But
Can I tell you
Wow,
what movie I hate already?
absolutely, let's stop talking about this
I-
asshole.
There are a lot of movies that'll make me rage spiral. But there are two that, like, anytime, and they're two movies that you'll hear people, they're more recent movies. One's from 2018 and one's from 2020. That people, and I'm not going to tell you anything about them except transphobic piece of shit. Okay, you got Incident in a Ghost Land and 32 Malasana Street.
I've never heard of either of these movies.
They're horror movies that, like, Incident in a Ghost Land just hits you right away with the transphobia. 32 Malasana Street. You watch this movie. It's a great it's a very very sleepaway camp way of doing it to you. It's like you're enjoying the movie and then it just hits you in the face. And then it's just, trans woman goes killing women because she wishes she could have a baby. I'm sorry, I did it. Now you know not to watch the movie.
I have already not committed either of those names to memory. Excellent choices. Finally returning to the show. Been a little while, but so thrilled he's finally back. Zach Jones, welcome back.
Hello.
How you doing tonight, Zach?
I'm doing good. I'm learning a lot about Roger Ebert, who somebody uploaded like a lot of old Siskel and Ebert episodes to YouTube. And I've been like, that's sort of been like something I've had on while working because it's interesting to like they're talking about movies that I've never even heard of. But it's just an interesting thing to just have on in the background. And yeah, I can tell that that Siskel's the nice one, but I did not know that.
I still love watching those old clips because of how much they don't like each other.
Yes.
This is
Yes. That's
like I want to say something, but I don't want it to be live.
Can you like write it down for after the show?
Yeah, we will have to know what this is. Well, Zach, question has come.
I'm dropping it in the chat. Just
perfect. Question has come to you, Zach. What is a movie you? We read what Sammie wrote, and
funny question, Nick.
What's a movie that I hate?
Hate.
Yeah, so I was just looking through my Letterboxd reviews, which only go back about a year or two, but there is a single movie that I have given half a star to, and that is the Keanu Reeves film, The Replacements. Which is just incredibly offensive film in terms of just being a movie about how it's cool to be a union busting scab, and then it gets more offensive from there. Really painful to watch. It's like Major League if Major League tried to tell you that the owner was the good guy.
Wow, it's also fun that I haven't seen any of the movies you all have mentioned. So I know that I've made some okay decisions. Well, thank you all for being here. This is the vibes already feel weird, and I feel like it's going to be one of those episodes. You all have played the game before. If this is your first time watching, here's what's going to happen. I have gone to IMDb, the Internet Movie Database, and I have pulled parental warnings for a bunch of movies that Ebert fucking despised. These warnings, I don't write them. I don't know who writes them. Someday they will come forward and reveal themselves, and we will have a long, extended episode asking them why they do the things they do. But not tonight. Tonight, we're just going to read what they wrote, and my friends here are going to try to figure out what movie Roger Ebert hated. And unless there's anything we want to add before we do that, I think it's time to jump into the game. And to do that, Liz, I'm going to start with you.
Oh, Lordy. Let's go.
Would you like a movie that Ebert hated from 1979, 1981, or 1999?
Let's do 1979.
1979, maybe the oldest one on this list. All right, first movie of the night from 1979 for 5 points under the category of violence and gore. A few people get decapitated by a large machine with wielding blades. You're feeling good about your choice, Liz.
Love that it's not wielding blades or with blades. It's wielding blades. Makes no sense as a sentence structure, but that is the game.
For 4 points. Oh, hold on. Sammie, what do you think this movie is? You are muted.
I know. If I wasn't muted, you'd have heard me say, "Wait, I'm muted. Give me a second." But I wasn't. So I am choosing to believe, and this is totally the kind of movie that he would hate. And I'm instantly realizing it came out in the 80s, but I'm still gonna say Motel Hell.
It is not Motel Hell. All right, for 4 points under the category of frightening and intense scenes, very explicit, disturbing, unpleasant, and way too adult.
This is a Disney movie?
Off with her head.
For 3 points under sex and nudity, Helen Mirren's character can be seen doing a dance in revealing clothing.
Oh. God damn it. No, that wasn't that.
Okay, for 2 points, also under sex and nudity, a few explicit scenes of masturbation and penetration can be seen, unsimulated.
Fuck.
Yeah, that's what he said has going on.
All right, we'll get to this 1 point clue. We do have the extra clue if we need it. I don't know if it'll help, but let's do this first for 1 point under sex and nudity. Since the film is about ancient Rome, most of the characters wear robes and the sides of female breasts can be seen. I see everyone but Sammie.
I'm gonna kick myself, but go ahead.
All right, Manix, what do you think?
I was gonna say Ben-Hur, but I know that's wrong now.
Do you want to say Ben-Hur?
No, but
Okay,
I don't
good.
want to say anything now.
Don't say anything. Liz, what do you think?
This is made up. Caligula.
Zach, what do you think?
Yeah, I thought this was an earlier movie, but I think it's definitely Caligula.
Roger Ebert said of this film, quote, "This film is not only garbage on an artistic level, but it's also garbage on the crude and base level where it in no doubt hopes to find its audience. Caligula is not good art, it is not good cinema, and it's not good porn." This is Caligula.
Wow.
Well, at least he wasn't talking about the 1970s version of Alice in Wonderland there.
That was such a shot
Alice's
in the dark.
X-rated Adventures in Wonderland, I think it's called.
Like, I only know that because of like a Graham Norton show interview with Helen Mirren about like being nude.
Helen Mirren, Malcolm McDowell plays Caligula.
Peter O'Toole, I think, is in it.
Who?
Peter O'Toole.
Oh, probably.
Ooh.
Yeah.
At the end of that round.
I love when a bunch of really good people are in a dumpster fire of a movie.
Oh, then that is a movie for you. At the end of the first round, Liz and Zach are tied at 1 point each. Manix at 0, Sammie at -1. Manix, would you like a movie from 1987, 1995, or 1997?
Let's go 1995.
1995. All right, from 1995 for 5 points, under sex and nudity. In her attempt to seduce a mate, a woman takes off her top in the middle of a crowded nightclub and continues to walk around wearing only a bra over her upper body.
Well, I mean, if it was over her bottom body, then it would be a problem, wouldn't it?
No, we need to specify where this bra is.
This is 1995?
95. All right, Zach, what do you think?
Is this Showgirls?
It is not Showgirls. Good guess. That is a movie that if there was 25 to 30 minutes cut out of it, it might be one of my favorite movies. For 4 points under violence and gore, she kills another man while still astride him after having sex. For 3 points under sex and nudity, a naked woman tumbles out of a cocoon covered in brown goo. Her breasts are shown.
Oh, God damn it.
Poor Sammie is like, I've seen it before.
It's probably the other movie.
For 2 points under violence and gore, the alien child is roasted to death with a flamethrower.
No, I've 100% seen that. What the fuck is this called?
All right, for 1 point, under sex and nudity, various brief scenes of an alien giving birth are shown. The mother's breasts, though alien in nature, are clearly identifiable.
Which fucking...
All right, we're going to read this part of the review that I don't think will help anybody. But for this, I'm going to read it. First person to buzz in gets to answer. Roger Ebert said of this movie, mainstream Hollywood is so terrified of intelligent human characters that it is no wonder why they don't want aliens who are even smarter than humans. Hey, dude, you don't pay for a ticket just to hear words you don't understand.
Hey, dude.
Hey, dude.
All right, I think I have to call it. It is a difficult one. This is the Natasha Henstridge classic sci-fi erotic thriller Species.
Yes, it is.
So note to self, Roger Ebert did not like erotica.
That is very
That
not
is
true.
so not true. That is as far away from true as you can get.
You-
The
he-
guy who wrote Beyond the Valley of the Dolls
Yes.
did not have a problem with erotic.
Yes, he very famously talked a lot about loving seeing titties in movies. So if,
You go ahead and Google, I think you can find it by just Googling Roger Ebert breast tweet.
Oh my god.
That could be so many things.
Uh-huh. Well, Liz, you're now in the lead by yourself at 1 point. Manix and Zach at 0. Sammie at -1. Sammie, would you like a movie from 1988, 1991, or 1998?
1991.
1991. All right, from 1991 for 5 points. Under sex and nudity, in one scene, a giant photo of a woman in a one-piece swimsuit is briefly seen. For 4 points under frightening and intense scenes, the violence has been toned down.
The violence has been toned down.
It's been toned down, if you were wondering.
Sounds like a sequel.
That might be a clue. For 3 points under frightening and intense scenes, 2 monstrous beasts are created with chemicals. They go out destroying small parts of the city in order to track
Can't
down
find
the
them.
heroes,
There we go.
pushing down telephone poles and
Yes!
flipping cars.
Yes!
Nothing big. I'm so excited. I really hope you know this.
Oh, I know
Sammie,
this.
what is this movie?
It's Secret of the Ooze. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2, Secret of the Ooze.
Zach, what do you
It
think?
isn't. There's a lot of through lines.
Zach, what do you think?
it is Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2: Secret of the Ooze.
It is Teenage
I
Mutant
thought about
Ninja
it on the
Turtles
second
2.
Ugh.
Secret
You know what?
of the Ooze.
I thought
I
that
was
came out
almost-
later in my life.
Yeah,
I was almost like,
I
is it
love
Teenage
this
Mutant Ninja
movie, and I
Turtles?
don't care who knows.
but famously, Roger Ebert wrote like a relatively positive review of the first Ninja Turtles movie.
I'll get to what he had to say about this one.
Yeah.
Also in this movie, under frightening and intense scenes, it's PG. Compared to the first movie from 1990, the second movie is with very less frightening. It is with very less frightening and
I
bound
get
to
it.
gore, mild comical violence of the hero saving the day. There are many ninja fighting references.
Yeah, but
Roger
they took
Ebert
away
said-
his nunchucks.
One of the things Roger Ebert had to say is, "I bent over backwards to be fair about the first movie about the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. It was, I wrote, probably the best Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle movie. Now we have the sequel, subtitled The Secret of the Ooze. I may not get what I want, but I get what I deserve." Zach is now at the lead, 3 points. Sammie at 2. Liz at 1. Manix at 0.
We're all
Zach, would you like a movie from 1993, 1997, or 1998?
Let's do 1997.
1997. From 1997 for 5 points under violence and gore. There's just overall lots of blood, so you might get used to it. But if that isn't something you want your child doing, then I don't suggest this film.
If you don't want your child bleeding?
You don't want your child getting used to overall the lots of blood.
Okay.
Well, my child is used to this now. For 4 points under violence and gore, a man has a hole in his head, and another man sticks his fingers into the hole. For 3 points under sex and nudity, men and women are seen clustered in showering room as they take a shower. Women in background are fully naked, and they scrub their big breasts and vaginal mound with soap. The scene lasts nearly a minute. There's also male nudity, and everyone in the scene is naked, so mention that too. I hated reading that, and this is, I think, the 3rd time I've had to.
That was deeply upsetting.
All right. Liz, what do you think this movie is?
Is this Starship Troopers?
This is Starship Troopers.
Yeah. Thank you, TNT. Coming in fun.
Oh, it must be fun to watch the TV edit of this movie.
Oh, it's wild. I mean, as insane as the movie is, like,
what is it, 25 minutes long?
Yeah, the cuts made for cable are wild. You're just like, I don't know. Did I miss like
that
the
was
commercial
the
break?
only version of that movie I saw for a while when I
Oh my God.
adulthood. When I saw, I was like, huh.
Different experience.
Huh.
Also in this movie, under frightening and intense scenes, the brain bug, which is frightening, sucks the brain out of a human. This scene may disturb some. And frightening and intense scenes, a cow is eviscerated by a giant insectoid alien. Though a censored bar partially obscures it, the scene is still quite gruesome. The censor bar was intended to be a joke. Roger Ebert said, quote, "It's one-dimensional. We smile at the satirical asides, but where's the warmth of human nature? The spark of genius or rebellion? If Star Wars is humanist, Starship Troopers is totalitarian." Liz, you're now in the lead, 4 points. Zach at 3, Sammie at 2. Manix, feel free to play at some point.
Hey, we know how this ended last time.
That's true. You played just for like the middle 5 movies and won the game. All right, Liz, would you like a movie from 1990, 1996, or 1998?
Let's do 1998.
1998. From 1998 for 5 points under violence and gore, a tidal wave crashes through a pier.
98.
98. We have two people buzzed in. 3 people. Sammie, what do you think?
Yeah, I know.
I knew. That's why I didn't say anything.
Is this Armageddon?
Zach, what do you think?
I believe this is Godzilla.
Liz, what do you think?
Deep Impact.
We got
You
2
hate all
asteroid
3 of those
movies.
movies.
It is not Deep Impact. It is not Armageddon. This movie also explicitly made fun of Siskel and Ebert. It's
Yes.
Godzilla.
Yeah.
Mayor Ebert.
As soon as you said it, I was like, fuck.
Yeah. This
I
is
know
the
we
one
hated
with
both of those movies.
Ferris Bueller, right?
Uh-huh.
I can't remember his name for some reason.
This is the
That's
one
right.
where he accidentally kills Godzilla, but then drives away and never talks about it again.
Mhm.
Or I could be confusing that with something else. Also, hey,
Yeah.
Lloyd. Lloyd's watching in the comments. Also in Godzilla, under violence and gore, a creature is wounded and killed by missiles that leave bloody wounds. Violence and gore, the creature gives birth, and the junior ends up chasing and killing several people. Their deaths are off camera, but we do hear screaming and the sounds of their death and destruction. Violence and gore, there's a lot of property damage as the creature runs through New York City. And violence and gore, the creature is very scary looking, something between a T-Rex and a dragon. He is enormous, estimated to be about 20 stories tall, and very threatening, with big sharp teeth and claws and a huge tail, which he waves to lethal effect. One thing Roger Ebert had to say, going to see Godzilla at the Palace of the Cannes Film Festival is like attending a satanic ritual at St. Peter's Basilica. It is a rebuke to the faith that the building represents.
Yeah.
That is extremely pretentious, sir.
Uh-huh.
Wow.
Yes. I mean, Roland Emmerich just really was just so upset with what I forget what Roger Ebert even gave a bad review to before that, but then he just
Must have been Independence Day, probably.
it must have been, but then yeah, he just made the Mayor Ebert, who was just very very on the nose.
Zach, you're now at 8 points. Liz at 3, Sammie at 1. Manix is here and can pick this next movie. Would you like a movie from 1981, 1998, or 1999?
Well, let's go at 1998 again.
All right, let's do another 1998.
I might know this
Bad
one.
year for Roger Ebert watching movies. Sammie already has a guess. We'll see if this helps.
Yeah.
For 5 points under alcohol, drugs, and smoking, a 10-year-old boy makes a joke about his mom packing martinis in his lunch. Did that
Okay, it's not played.
seems like it?
It is not played.
All right, for 4 points under violence and gore, a boy and many other kids get into a snowball battle that's reminiscent of a military war scene, but nothing worse than kids being hit with snowballs. All right, Sammie, what do you think this movie is?
Is this the Michael Keaton Jack Frost?
This is the movie where Michael Keaton plays the George Clooney snowman, Jack Frost.
Oh my God.
A movie I loved as a kid
Oh,
because I had a thing for movies where dads had to magically become better dads to their sons. You know, Jack Frost, the Santa Claus, liar, liar. I don't know what that was all about. Also in Jack Frost, under frightening and intense scenes, the main character dies near the beginning of the film while driving on an icy road late at night. The accident itself is not seen, so there's no blood or gore to worry about, but the windshield wipers stop working. We do hear a crash right before the scene blacks out. Frightening and intense scenes, 1 year after the main character dies, his wife and child have a scene where they break down and cry together outside, talking about how much they miss him. It's a very sad moment. And frightening and intense scenes, the moment when the snowman first comes to life, as wind and the camera rapidly spin around the snowman, may be just a bit frightening for very young viewers. Now, strap in for what Roger Ebert had to say about this movie, which I'm not going to give away, but there's another movie I used tonight where he devoted a paragraph in that review to how much he hates this movie. Roger Ebert said, "The snowman gave me the creeps. Never have I disliked a movie character more. They say state-of-the-art special effects can create the illusion of anything on the screen, and now we have proof. It's possible for the folks at Jim Henson and Industrial Light and Magic to put their heads together and come up with the most repulsive single creature in the history of special effects." And I'm not forgetting the Chucky doll or the desert intestine from Star Wars. To see the snowman is to dislike the snowman. It doesn't look like a snowman anyway. It looks like a cheap snowman suit. When it moves, it doesn't exactly glide. It walks, but without feet, like it's creeping on its torso. It has anorexic tree limbs for arms, which spin through 360 degrees when it's throwing snowballs. It has a big, wide mouth that moves as if masticating gummy bears. And it's the kid's dad.
Oh my God. Why is masticating such an uncomfortable word?
It really just is.
Zach is now at 8, Sammie at 5, Liz at 3. I don't think I'm forgetting anybody. Sammie! Sammie, would you like a movie from 1987, 1997, or hey, look at this, 1998?
1998. One of these is going to be played. Hey, there's no way he liked that movie.
1998, third time in a row. What a year for movies. For 5 points under sex and nudity, some sexual dialogue. Kissing parts until the violence/action begins.
I'll wait a clue or two before I say Blade.
For 4 points under violence and gore, overall, the film is not extremely violent, as most of the deaths and stabbings are off-screen, though it has violent aftermath images that may shock or frighten viewers.
Huh. Well, it's not Blade.
For 3 points under violence and gore, a woman finds 2 teenage boys' corpses. One is bloody with 2 ice skates embedded in his face, and the other has a knife in his back. A man grabs a kitchen knife and chases the woman. She beats him with a fireplace poker, sending him to the floor, and he grabs her ankle, nearly stabbing her. But he hits the floor instead. She continues to beat him repeatedly with the poker and shatters a window. The man then grabs her and slits her throat with the knife. Blood pours from the wound. Just described a full scene from this movie to you. It doesn't seem to help anybody.
Yeah, lifted directly from a script.
I know, that's...
All right. No. Okay.
No.
2 points under violence and gore in a dream sequence. A teenage girl hides in a closet as a man violently breaks through the door. We also see a knife stabbed into a picture of a teenage boy.
No.
Okay. Manix, do you have a guess?
Probably not, but is it one of the hundreds of thousands of Friday the 13th movies? Or the other one, Nightmare on Elm Street?
You just picked 2 franchises.
Is it a horror movie?
No, I can't give you anything for guessing 2 complete franchises.
Hey, I guessed.
It's a horror movie, though.
I guessed.
You did, and for that, I will take a point away from you.
On the board.
Sammie, you didn't have anything?
No.
All right, well, let's see if this helps you under frightening and intense scenes for 1 point. The film's final scene, spoiler alert, the film's final scene, when Laurie decapitates Michael, is sudden and could make people jump.
Oh, I know what this is.
All right, Liz, what do you think?
Oh gosh, it's Halloween Kills?
Sammie, what do you think?
Halloween H2O.
Oh,
It is not Halloween Kills.
yeah.
It is Halloween H2O 20 years later.
That's the one I meant.
The movie where Jamie Lee Curtis had the whole idea for it, got John Carpenter involved, and then everybody but her left the project and she hated it. Roger Ebert said, "I have often wondered why we hate mimes so much. Many people have such an irrational dislike for them that they will cross the street rather than watch some guy in whiteface pretending to sew his hands together. Examining Michael Myers' makeup in Halloween H2O, I realized he looks so much like Marcel Marceau as to make no difference. Maybe he's a mime when he's not slashing."
Wow.
Wasn't the mask 100% computer generated in that film?
That's a good question that feels wrong.
I just watched a video about the worst CGI in movies, and they mentioned Michael Myers?
Yeah,
Mike
Michael
Myers?
Myers.
Okay. The mask in that film.
And at that, Zach, you're at 8. Sammie got points for that. I don't know why I decided not to give you anything. Sam is at 6. Liz is at 2. Manix is at -1 with his guess of some horror movie.
I was right, partially.
No, you named 2 full franchises and still didn't hit it.
But I had the right face in my mind.
That is not how the game works.
I'm thrilled that this keeps happening. Like I said, it's a short list, but this keeps happening. Who's taking this? Zach, I believe. Zach, would you like a movie from 1988, 1993, or 1998?
Oh boy. I think I have to commit to the bit, right? Okay.
All right, and I will say, looking through this list, I think this is the last 1998 movie. All right. The 4th movie from 1998 that Ebert hated. That whole round was just 98. Good job, everybody. For 5 points under alcohol, drugs, and smoking, a man has drinks with a woman in a bar. We later see others having drinks in a strip club. All right, Sammie has
I'm going to finally say Blade.
It's not Blade. It was never going to be Blade. For 4 points under frightening and intense scenes, there are a couple of highly emotional scenes towards the end of the film, especially one where a character is saying goodbye to other characters. Liz is buzzed in. Manix is buzzed in. Anybody else?
Can you read it again?
There are a couple of highly emotional scenes towards the end of the film, especially one where a character is saying goodbye to other characters. Okay. Manix, what do you think?
I was going to say What Dreams May Come, but I can't think of a stripper scene in that. But I'm going to say it anyway. What Dreams May Come. That's a 1988 film.
Liz, what do you think?
Armageddon.
Again? It is not What Dreams May Come, though that is a movie that is way worse than you think it would be.
One of my favorites.
This time it is Armageddon.
Yes, I remember him hating that movie.
I had to say Blade.
You had to.
By the way, I looked it up. Roger Ebert gave 3 stars to Blade.
Oh,
All right.
that is much higher than I expected.
Also,
He's not a consistent reviewer.
Not at all.
He just reviewed what he liked.
But it's like his criteria. And then you see a movie that was essentially the same.
Yes.
Also in Armageddon, under violence and gore. Although played for humor, a man chases another man around the oil rig, firing a shotgun at him and blowing out windows, etc. And frightening and intense scenes, young kids and other viewers may be frightened or unsettled by the overall concept of impending doom via a large and fast approaching asteroid. Likewise, they may find the mayhem-filled scenes where smaller chunks of it impact in different cities, presumably killing many people, just as scary and unnerving. Roger Ebert said, "Here it is at last, the first 150-minute trailer. Armageddon is cut together like it's its own highlights. Take almost any 30 seconds at random and you'd have a TV ad. The movie is an assault on the eyes, the ears, the brain, common sense, and human desire to be entertained. No matter what they're charging to get in, it's worth more to get out."
But the animal crackers.
I just love the amount of vitriol because, like, I'm not saying it's a great movie, but it just the hatred seems so like over the top.
Again, that's the thing I like. When he hates something, he hates it.
Yeah.
In a way where it's like, dude, are you okay? It's a movie. Zach is at 8, Liz at 6, Sammie at 5, Manix at -2. We are already running into the final stretch. 4 movies remain, 1 more for each of you. Liz, would you like a movie from 1990, 1993, or 1996?
1993.
1993.
It never works. Whenever I have the option, I pick my birth year, and it never works in my favor.
A movie you almost definitely didn't see in theaters. This movie's from 1993. Sammie already has a guess. We'll see if this helps.
Oh.
5 points under alcohol, drugs, and smoking.
Even if it doesn't, I'm still saying it.
I hope you will. Teenagers are obviously drinking alcohol at a house party. Some of the kids are obviously very drunk. A few of them even start dumping beer on the dog. They are laughing and behaving erratically.
Huh. Okay, so I don't think it's Super Mario Brothers anymore. Because like that just seems like the logical he hated it in 1993, because why would he be the one person who didn't?
That would be a fair guess. You want to make that a guess?
I'm gonna say, and maybe I'm gonna say Friday. I feel like that was 93. I feel like he hated that movie.
It is not Friday.
Is it Super Mario Brothers?
I mean, you didn't guess Super Mario Brothers. For 4 points under violence and gore, a puppy pees on a man's face, played for laughs. Again, under violence and gore, a puppy pees on a man's face.
That's why I was like so confused.
Huh.
I mean, I'm trying to think, like, what category would you put puppy peeing on a man's face under?
Well, like, why is that a warning, though?
All right, Sammie, what do you think?
House Party?
It's not House Party either. I feel like I'm sensing a theme with your guesses, and I'm not sure if I like the theme you're going with.
I don't know. I'm going like teenagers. I'm literally just teenager party movies. That is what I'm like, you said teenagers at a party. Listen, I'm very tired right now.
For 3 points under violence and gore, near the end of the film, the 2 villains are seen being washed away in the rapids of a river. While not much is on screen, it seems to infer that these 2 characters will either plummet to their deaths or crash into the rocks, being inflicted with near fatal brain damage. However, the scene is quite humorous. All right. right, I see Liz and Sammie.
I don't actually have a guess.
Okay, Liz, what do you think?
Oh, never mind.
Okay. For 2 points under sex and nudity, in order to scare a bully away, the title dog's owner commands him to, quote, bite this guy in the wiener.
What?
In order to scare a bully away, the title dog's owner commands him to, quote, bite this guy in the wiener. See, everyone but Zach.
Huh.
Liz, what do you think?
Beethoven.
Manix, what do you think?
Beethoven's second.
Sammie, what do you think?
Huh. You know what? I'm done actually playing.
Well, good night. What are you guessing?
Shiloh.
Hey, Shiloh, go bite this guy in the wiener. I only read the book. I don't remember if they added that to the movie.
I'm so tired. I'm hearing like every third word.
So
I have a show after this. It'll be great.
Oh no! Then let's speed through this. I think.
No, it's a 10. It's
Oh, we're fine then. It is not.
I'm not, but
Beethoven. This movie is Beethoven's second.
Oh,
Oh wow.
I'm annoyed. I
got one
right. You know what, Nick? Hands staying up.
I only guessed Beethoven second because she guessed.
Listen, I made it to
God.
5 or 6
Oh, wow.
points. I don't
I
remember.
feel like I should get half the points then, since apparently I'm the only reason Beethoven was even.
Final clue in this: 2 Saint Bernard dogs mate and have puppies in the movie. Roger Ebert said, "There's a scene in Beethoven's second in which Beethoven, who is a large Saint Bernard dog, takes his girlfriend Missy, also a large Saint Bernard, to a drive-in theater for the movies. They sit on a hill above a parking lot where they have a good view of the screen. This much I was prepared to believe. Some dogs are very clever. But when Beethoven came back with a box of popcorn for Missy, I realized these were not ordinary dogs, but 2 of amazing intelligence. And when it was revealed that Missy got pregnant later that night, I found myself asking if they'd never heard of taking precautions."
Explain your brain.
I'm so confused.
I don't know. I guess I don't know what happens in Beethoven.
Well, this is Beethoven's second, so
Nick, I have come to the conclusion
Uh-huh.
that Roger Ebert writes the parental warnings.
These feel so much of the same family.
like truly focusing on the weirdest thing.
3 movies remain. It's still anybody's game. There's still 15 points on the board. Zach's at 8. Liz is at 5. Sammie is at 2. Manix, you've come back up to 0. But you do get to pick this movie.
I lost so many points during
You
that.
lost so many points. Manix, would you like a movie from 1981, 1997, or 1999?
Let's go with 1999.
1999.
Dun, 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 dun.
All right, from 1999 for 5 points under profanity. Some name calling and bullying, like picklehead, jerk, and stupid. All right, what's your first guess, Sammie?
Picklehead.
And you don't have to guess.
Oh, yes, I do.
Okay.
This is the movie we all know came out in 1999.
Yep.
The original Bad News Bears. Roger Ebert hated it. He probably did, actually.
Unfortunately, it is not 1999's Bad News Bears. For 4 points under violence and gore, the rat exists.
I'm sorry, the what?
The rat exists.
Rat.
Under violence and gore, the rat exists.
The rat exists.
I feel like that's like a
Are
code
you-
words to
are
like
you
get off a sleeper cell.
activating the super soldier?
It's like my activation phrase.
Like, are you activating a super soldier?
Yeah. Rat.
My dog just left the house. Thanks, Nick.
Oh my god, I'm dead.
Maggie was yes, the rat does exist.
All right. Well, I'm going to go to Sammie first, as I might for all of these. What do you think?
The rat exists. Listen.
Uh-huh. Mm-hmm.
Now we've already established when Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2 comes out.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, actually, you know what? I was going to jokingly say the first one, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 3. I don't remember when it came out, but it could have been 99.
Manix, what do you think?
Stuart Little.
It is not Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 3, Turtles Through Time.
Why would I remember that?
It is the titular rat, Stuart Little.
Oh my god.
Wow.
Woo, 100% guess.
Oh my god.
Wow.
I
This is the movie where in the review halfway through, Ebert devotes another paragraph to how much he hated Jack Frost.
oh my god.
Also in Stuart Little, under frightening and intense scenes, Snowbell's introduction can be jarring as he comes in the form of a jump scare. Frightening and intense scenes, there are intense scenes where the main character is in danger, almost drowning in the washing machine, nearly going over a waterfall in the sewage system, etc. But he turns up okay. And violence and gore during a miniature sailboat race, a mean kid pilots his remote-controlled boat into and over other contestants' boats, damaging and destroying. George then tackles this mean kid after he calls the title character a stupid rat. The mean kid gets a wedgie and bruising on his eyes. Roger Ebert said, "Its hero upstages anything the plot can possibly come up with. A 2-inch talking humanoid mouse upstages roadsters, cats, little brothers, everything. I tried imagining a movie that would deal seriously and curiously with an intelligent and polite child who looked like a mouse. Such a movie would have to be co-directed by Tim Burton and David Lynch."
And David Lynch.
Wow.
Yeah, that's my favorite fact about Stuart Little is in the book, he's just a weird looking kid. He's not a mouse.
Mouse.
I think they made the right decision to make him a mouse in the movie.
What a strange creative choice. Hmm. Oh my god.
2 movies remain. Zach is at 8. Liz is at 5. Manix is up to 4. Sammie is down to 0. All right, Sammie, would you like a movie from 1987, 1988, or 1990?
1990.
1990. Penultimate movie from 1990 for 5 points under frightening and intense scenes. Jack's character comes off as very sociopathic and sadistic.
What year is this?
1990.
Yeah, so it's not.
Okay. Hold on. No, still. Sammie, what do you think?
Well, it's not The Shining. Because that didn't come out in 1990, and I'm not gonna burn a guess. I'm not going to burn a beautiful joke guess.
I mean, The Shining was nominated for like 3 Razzies.
So I will say that this is definitely, I don't remember Jack, but this is absolutely the home movie of my brother's wrestling match at the time, in which little kid me threw up on the mat, and my parents argued in the background before going to the thing about expiration dates in the refrigerator. Roger Ebert hated it.
I mean, I appreciate the full title. Let's see what Zach thinks.
This is probably wrong. Is it The Nightmare Before Christmas?
Liz, what do you think?
I also think it's The Nightmare Before Christmas.
It is not A Nightmare Before Christmas. It is that one home movie that Sammie's in.
I believe it. It was only a matter of time.
4 points under frightening and intense scenes. A storm tears through the island, causing a lot of destruction.
A what?
A storm tears through the island, causing a lot of destruction.
Mm-hmm.
I see 2 of you with hands up, and I don't know if that's correct. Okay, I see 1 of you with a hand up.
I'm too tired to think of a joke guess. I might have a real guess, but I'll wait one.
Okay. You can still come back.
I refuse.
Okay, great. For 3 points under violence and gore, a pig is shown torn open with its organs spread out on a beach. 2 boys are shown covered in its blood eating it. Everyone but Manix. Sammie, what do you think?
Lord of the Flies? Did I? Sure.
Liz, what do you
I
think?
don't remember it for sure.
Lord of the Flies?
Zach, what do you think?
Yeah, I've never seen this movie, but it sounds an awful lot like the book Lord of the Flies.
Yeah.
It's because this is the 1990 adaptation of Lord of the Flies.
Wow. I was like, I mean, this definitely is a scene in the book, but like, is there a movie?
There's been a few movies, but one that Ebert hated.
Well, in my defense, instead of watching the movie for Lord of the Flies, my 9th grade English teacher had us watch the first 2 episodes of Lost. Which I think she just wanted to watch Lost.
Yeah, she's just like, listen, I haven't been able to watch the show. I need to be here with these damn
I've been
kids.
hearing great things. Let me put it in the curriculum.
If she wanted to include some TV in teaching Lord of the Flies, she should have shown the incredibly panned 1-season reality TV show Kid Nation.
Yes.
Oh my god.
There is a great Simpsons episode of it too that like show that.
Oh yes. And the kids were saved at the end by, let's say Mo. Yeah.
Also in Lord of the Flies, under frightening and intense scenes, the idea of being stranded on an island itself can be unsettling for some. And violence and gore, a boy is stabbed to death by a group of boys. All that is seen is the boys stabbing at something. The dead boy is seen afterwards. Roger Ebert said, "The symbolism is right up front and unmissable. And the story part, the events that in theory should cause our throats to tighten and our pulses to quicken, is pretty lame. Once you understand what is going to happen, and even the viewer who has never even heard of the book will not take long, there are few surprises. It happens."
So his complaint was that he knew what was going to happen. Lord of the Flies, which had already had several movies and was based on a book,
Not enough suspense. I got the spoiler, and it's
Yeah.
this movie's fault.
I mean, they should have included a smoke monster.
They didn't. It's like Roger Ebert says, "Stop making movies out of books. It takes the suspense away."
We've got one movie remaining. Zach is at 10. Liz is at 7. Manix at 4. Sammie at 2. Zach, you get to pick this movie. It's yours to lose.
Okay.
Would you like a movie from 1981, 1987, or 1988?
81, 87, or 88?
Yep.
Let's go 81.
81. Final movie of the night from 1981.
This is a real guess.
This is a real guess. For 5 points under alcohol, drugs, and smoking. Cigarette smoking in a few scenes, marijuana smoking in one scene, and alcohol drinking in a few scenes, including a scene that takes place in a bar.
What? They drink alcohol in a bar?
Can you believe it? All right. Sammie, let's hear this real guess.
It's Friday the 13th, Part 2.
Coming in from behind, this is Friday the 13th.
I've been waiting for Shitty One this whole game.
Wow.
I told you from the start. I'm like, it's gonna come up. God, if I hadn't spent all that time fucking around, that would have been my win.
Yeah, right? Well, let's wrap this up. That was a nice, quick final round.
Oh my God.
Also,
I was like 81, say 81, say 81.
Also in Friday the 13th, Part 2, under 6 of
The man's
nudity,
staying up. I have more guesses.
a woman undresses and goes skinny dipping in a lake. She's shown naked from relatively far away, and the scene is darkly lit. Nudity only seen when she goes into and comes out of the lake. Breasts and butt seen, and pubic hair occasionally visible. She covers her breasts and crotch for part of the time. Not sexual scene, which feels wrong. Frightening and intense scenes. The film has several killings and a chase scene in isolated location with intense music. Violence and gore. A man and a woman are impaled off screen with a spear while in bed. Later, they're discovered by another woman who herself gets her thigh slashed with a large knife, and the man's body is briefly seen placed against a wall and covered in blood. And violence and gore. A man in a wheelchair is hit on the face with a machete, and it becomes lodged in his head as he falls down a flight of stairs. Roger Ebert had to say, about 24 movies a year feature a mad killer going berserk, and they're all about as bad as this one. Some have a little more plot, some have a little less. It doesn't matter. That was Friday the 13th, Part 2. This was Inappropriate Movie Database. Our final scores tonight. Manix at 4. Liz and Sammie tied in second place with 7 each. But Zach maintaining his lead, coming in at 10 points, winning the game tonight. If you're curious, the only 2 movies that we didn't hit, there were 3 movies we didn't hit. Let me just say, I never played this. I'm never going to do this topic again. So let me try something. If we're all okay for time for a couple more minutes. There's a movie from 1997, Roger Ebert says, and just shout it out if you think you know it. This is a series whose inspiration has come, gone, and been forgotten.
97?
97.
The Matrix.
Nope. This is Alien Resurrection.
Yep.
Oh. Wow, he really hates aliens. Like not the movie Aliens, just anything.
Just the
concept of aliens.
This is a movie from 1988. That makes title of the movie an ideal movie for audiences with little taste and atrophied attention spans who want to glance at the screen occasionally and ascertain that something is still happening up there. If you fit that description, you probably have not read this far, but what the heck? We believe in full-service reviews around here. You're welcome.
Wow. What a fucking asshole.
Uh-huh.
Oh my god. His writing makes me hate him, but also like...
Right?
Fuck, it's good writing.
Yeah. That was Hellbound, Hellraiser 2. And the final movie from 1996... It tells the story of a violent sociopath. Since it's about golf, that makes it a comedy.
Happy Gilmore.
It's Happy Gilmore.
Yeah. Hated and any like 90s SNL stars movies.
Uh-huh. There's a review that he had. I couldn't use it because somebody has used Wedding Singer before. But he's like, the biggest miscalculation this movie did is assume that Adam Sandler should be the star of a movie.
Yep. I have to agree with him there.
He did not.
That's the only one I enjoyed.
Gems, so.
This was such a fun game. Before we go, if there is anything you want to promote, anywhere you want to be found, any last words, Liz, I'll start with you.
Follow me on Twitter at Liz Estey, on Instagram at Liz Estey. In life, I guess, but not stalking. And I am hopefully having some vague ideas of new jokes to write. So, I should be on stage at some point, and I will share that on Twitter. If and when it occurs.
Hell yeah.
Coming soon to a microphone near you, I will attempt to write again. And it shall be interesting. But yeah, thank you, Nick, as always. It was a pleasure.
Thank you as always. Manix, you got a Facebook page.
Yep, go there.
Don't know if you can read it on YouTube, but go there.
Oh, it doesn't say it. Okay, you can find me on Facebook. I am making lots and lots of graphic designs recently, and I am now taking commissions if you want a print or something fun. Find me at Manix's Creative. So facebook.com, Manix's Creative.
Perfect. Sammie, you got anything going on?
I run a bunch of shows. Big thing is I got something for everyone August 13th. Okay, I am booked almost literally all fucking day. Okay, so 2 p.m. I run every month. The You Matter, a free concert for trans kids and their families. If you know trans youth, it's a free show. Go on Eventbrite, get those tickets. And then 4:30, same day, running an in-person show at an outdoor street festival with like sideshow performers and shit. And in Highland Park, New Jersey, if you're in New Jersey, you want to go to that. Maybe you don't like comedy. There's enough other stuff that you can just be there while I'm performing. Like buy some books, find some jewelry made with bones, watch a sword swallower. It'll be a good time. And then that night, 7 p.m. back at my home, back on Zoom, the Badass Trans Women of Comedy. Okay, that's the second Saturday of every month. It's a good time. You have no excuse. There's something for you to do August 13th.
Oh yeah. So you do so much. I
do
don't
too
know how
much.
you do it. I do this one show and it exhausts me.
I've run a couple podcasts that I've eventually said, fuck it, no one listens to this. But I'm doing it again. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
So I don't know when it'll come out, but my new podcast, I have episodes scheduled to record. I don't know when they'll go out. This is for us. It's a queer a roundtable of queer people just talking about like different topics that we like movies.
Yeah.
We like Star Wars. We like baseball. It's a bunch of queer people just talking about a different topic. It's mostly pop culture topics, but if someone wants to talk about MMA, I'll put together a roundtable for it.
It sounds so fun, and I'm not going to put you on the spot, but if you need another guest at some point, I would volunteer for the show.
Oh, you're on the list.
Awesome. Sammie, thank you. Finally, our winner, Zach, you got anything?
Yes. I would like, first of all, you can follow me on Twitter at Dr. Zach Jones. If you're somebody who is into wrestling, I have moved all of my wrestling takes to one separate alt account so that I don't have to bother anybody else with that. But you can follow my wrestling takes at Dark Elevation, and then there's also a podcast that goes along with that where I review the least watched wrestling products on YouTube, and yeah, you can also watch me on Left Night with Kendra Dawsey every Wednesday on 2MB Studios Twitch page, and just do something nice for somebody. Look out for your neighbor. Show some solidarity today and every day.
Hell yeah! What a sweet note to end this on. Thank you so much once again, Liz, Estey, Manix Catino, Sammie James, Zach Jones. I'm Nick Martucci. You can find me on all social media at Blundering Idiom. Find the show on Facebook, search Inappropriate Movie Database, or click the link in the description of this video. Twitter and Instagram at IMDb Game. Like, subscribe, do all that YouTuber stuff, because we do this show 2 times a week, Monday nights at 9 p.m. Eastern, Thursday nights at 8 p.m. Eastern. And we got a bunch of real fun ones planned for this month. There's still space on the shows, including next Monday night, 9 p.m. Eastern. We're doing movies whose titles are full sentences, which is just a topic that makes me giggle. And there's space on that show. If you want to be involved in that one or any of the others, go to any of the social media, reach out to me there. And if you know somebody who would like this show, let them know. We should spread this more, and by we I mean you. You should do some of the work. I do enough of this work. Thank you so much, everybody, for watching.